The Xbox Game Showcase kicked off this week, setting the stage for the next generation of Xbox on the platform. A lot is riding on this event to provide a reason to play on Xbox Series X and online, with hundreds of games coming over the first year alone. Microsoft is touting the most powerful console, the best online infrastructure, and games, all leading with Xbox Game Pass. There is much more to see coming from Xbox, so let's sit down and talk to Xbox directly in this interview, all about the Xbox Game Showcase and what's to come in 2020. Hey, this is Colteastwood. Thank you so much for checking in. Today has been what very well will be the most historic moment for the Xbox platform in its influential 20 years in gaming. And with us right now is someone who's been with Xbox since the very launch of Xbox Live and through that entire platform, the Director of Programming for Xbox, Larry Hryb, or as we always like to call him, Major Nelson. How you doing, Larry?
Colteastwood, it is great to hear your voice, and thank you for having me on your show.
No, thank you for coming. This is a new thing for me, so I just want to know how you're feeling. There's a lot of tension that was holding back as you guys waited from XO19 and that reveal at the Game Awards to show all of this stuff, since there wouldn't be an E3. So how are you feeling after that is finally said and done?
Well, you know, this is part of our journey. You know, you talked about XO19, which feels like it was years ago, and it was just last November when many of the Xbox team and a lot of us, everybody joined us, and we were broadcasting live from London when we were in person and having a great event. My, how the world has changed, Colt. But you know, at that point, you know, who knew? We did not know that E3 wasn't going to happen this year. You know, this was 8 months before. So we certainly had a lot planned in that. And then when we made the decision earlier this year that, hey, E3 is not going to happen. So that actually, you know, that presents some opportunities for us in terms of we can tell our story in a much more, in a much different way. In that, you know, today or, you know, this week we showed some of our games. You know, we'll have more to talk about in the future. So it provides us with some different moments as we lead up to the launch of Xbox Series X later this year.
Yes, that's good, because a lot of people are always like, they're never satisfied. They always want more. And you showed 100 titles, or talked about 100 titles coming for Xbox Series X this holiday. Is that true?
Yeah, that's about right. I mean, we talked about a lot. I mean, it's kind of, when I say about right, it's an interesting point, because this is because of the investments we've made in the backwards compatible program. You know, right now, sitting in your TV room, wherever you play your games, you have lots of games already that you're going to be able to play right away on Xbox Series X, many of which are going to look better than ever before. So we're excited about that. You know, in the event this week, in the Xbox Game Showcase, we had 10 world premieres, which will be coming to Xbox Series X. So we're excited about that. So we've got a lot of games coming your way.
Really exciting to see those games get enhanced, and then to see new games come out and see the developers can take that extra power and get their games to look the way they want them to look.
Yeah, and to your point, with Xbox Series X, a lot of the back compat games, the story becomes even better, because we're able to do some fancy engineering work and kind of bring in a little bit of HDR to games that never really considered HDR, were made before that was a thing. So there's a lot going on there. So yeah, to line it up, we've got a lot. You know, Xbox Series X is going to launch not only with some new games, but also it's going to make your existing library look better than before.
So Xbox Game Studios is really busy. And they're working on multiple games, and a lot of over half the studios we haven't heard from today. So what was the most important message that you wanted to show the fans today from Xbox Game Studios?
Well, I think there's a couple things. First, you know, you mentioned we actually heard from 9 of our 15 game studios. You know, we heard from 343 with Halo and Double Fine and Ninja Moon and so forth. So we heard a lot from those. The message is really, there's a couple parts of it. One is that Halo Infinite, it's the most expansive Halo ever built. It's amazing. And then I want to talk about the lineup of games. This is the most creatively diverse lineup of games in the history of Xbox. Now, hold on a minute, Cole. I want you to stop for a minute and think about that. Because if you think about the hundreds of thousands of games that have come out over the years, and when we were around for the launch of the original Xbox and Xbox 360 and Xbox One, this is an amazing lineup of games. And then so you think about that, and that alone is like, holy cow, it blows your hair back. But then when you couple it with something really important that Phil said, is that every game that we showed on the Xbox Game Showcase is going to be available on Game Pass. Mm-hmm. So that is something we have never before seen in the history of consoles, is this approach where you're going to be able to essentially, as long as you're a Game Pass member, you're going to play those games. You don't have to even think about it. All you have to do is download them.
Okay, I'm going to say something that's very, very conservative, and I've said it in my videos.
Sure.
If Xbox Game Studios puts out 4 or 5 games a year, that's including the global publishing titles that come to Game Pass, if you're paying $120 a year, Game Pass more than pays for those games that you're getting. Easily. No. I mean, you can spend $250 buying those games outright, but if you're a Game Pass subscriber, it is actually saving you money. And I think the bigger that Game Pass gets, it's already over 10 million subscribers, it is going to draw so many people to the platform who are going to realize the absolute value. And especially since we're seeing Xbox Game Studios pump out incredible looking games. Halo Infinite looked amazing. I want to talk about that because I want to ask you about 343 because they had to come in and fill Bungie's shoes, and Bungie went on to do their thing, and they had to take the mantle of Halo, and you can tell that they have a heart-filled desire for what Halo means. But when I saw Halo Infinite today, I thought, man, 343 really dug deep into what made Combat Evolved in 2001, what made that such an incredible impact on the gaming community. And it looks like they tried to bring that magic, and I totally felt it when I saw that extended gameplay clip. So tell me what 343's focus was, because it looks so far different from Halo 5.
Yeah, I mean, Halo 5 was certainly a solid game that's been out for a few years, and that was a huge undertaking for that team. But they heard from the audience loud and clear about, hey, we want to go back to the roots of what Halo is all about, and this beautiful universe and what that means. And that's you really saw that. I mean, this was amazing, the fact that you felt this, and the team at 343, you talked about them a moment ago. They take their Halo mission, to put it bluntly, they take their Halo mission very seriously. And what does it mean to be Master Chief, and how do you do it? And how do you go back to these more than 15 years of lore and gameplay and history, and how do you make it better and bring it forward to Xbox Series X, but still have that retain that core of what Halo fans love? I too am excited to play it. I urge anybody who watched the stream, first of all, thank you for joining us. If you didn't watch the stream, that's fine. Go watch the stream, the VOD in 4K.
Yes,
when you watch it, when you see Halo Infinite, when you see that gameplay, you feel the weapons, you feel the world, the fact that you can go explore in this amazing universe, and you have these characters that some of which you'll recognize and some of which will feel familiar, that you're gonna fall in love with Halo all over again.
Did you notice the continuous camera where it always was like a Steadicam constantly around, and then when you came out of the cutscene, so to speak, we can't even call it a cutscene now, it's direct in-engine actual game play of Halo, moves around and brings you back into the helmet of Master Chief, and you just start right off and play. I'm assuming that will continue throughout the game as you come into cinematics and back into gameplay.
Yeah, I mean, the 343 team has done some extraordinary work, and we've just seen a little bit of it, right?
Oh, yeah.
We've just seen a little bit of it, and so I'm looking forward to seeing it. And to be honest with you, Colt, I have not seen much of it, and this is I famously tell this story with every Halo that's come out. I've worked with those teams, and I'm a fanboy as well. I don't want to see anything before it's ready, so I will walk out of a meeting if they're showing some renders or story plots. I want to enjoy it as a fan, because I'm a huge Halo fan as well.
Yeah, I am talking with people about showing a lot of gameplay or not, and I like to see enough, and then I can turn my eyes when I want. And for you guys to show 8 minutes of continuous gameplay, very smart move. I'm going to ask you one more quick question about that. It said at the very beginning, press start for demo. Is that a little tease, or can you just say more to come about that?
Gee, that's an interesting point, Colt. I don't know. I guess we'll have to find out, won't we?
Oh, darn you. All right. Maybe if you were surprised about Fable.
Yeah.
Glad to see it coming. And they're excited about Hellblade 2, but we haven't seen gameplay yet. So
we have not.
I'm assuming that Phil Spencer and the team have talked about maybe kind of changing their approach, that we want to show fans what's coming down the road, and we're confident that what we're working on is going to come out the way we want. So is that why we saw Fable and Hellblade early?
Well, we saw Fable because it's always good to give a little glimpse of what folks are working on. You know, these studios, there's hundreds of people working on things. And the games that were shown today, I think it's really important to point out, they are in varying stages of development. So you pointed out a couple that are a little further away versus some that are a little bit closer. So that's what it's really wanted to point out is, you know, we've heard from audience say, well, hey, we want to see games. So we went in and we looked at some games that, again, were in varying stages of development, and we wanted to show you a nice little glimpse of what we're working on.
Yeah, we really want to see what Fable looks like, what the art style is. Make sure you communicate to the fans that that Playground team is absolutely incredibly talented. A lot of us hardcores that really watch the minutia of what's going on, we've watched who they've hired, and we're really looking forward to that. So hopefully we'll see see something from Fable very soon.
Yeah.
So what can we expect from the rest of your Xbox 2020 for the year? You have a new event in August. What are you going to talk about, like as far as launch of the consoles and Xbox Game Studios?
Well, we've got a lot planned. I don't really want to. I'm not at a liberty to discuss what we're doing because we're talking about the showcase, which we just had with the 10 world premieres and nine projects coming out of some game studios. So we're looking at what we can do, and you know we have an approach where we're going to show some things when they're ready. Mm-hmm. So we haven't confirmed any additional dates or moments in the future. When we're ready to do that, we will, because we want to make sure that we're putting our best foot forward, and we're showing really what fans want to see and when it's ready to be shown. So I can't confirm anything else that's going on in the future, but I'm going to tell you right now, we have a lot of great stuff planned.
Thank you to all of you who have turned on your microphones and your cameras from home, and the studio's working from home and trying to make it all work. We understand that a lot of us are working from home as well, and it's not easy, but we'll make it.
Well, Cole, I also want to say on behalf of everybody at the Xbox team, thank you for all you've been doing. I know you've been working at this hard and producing Xbox content for, what is it, like 13 years now, right? I look back and I was like, holy cow.
Yeah, I've had the channel for a while, but yeah, I've been doing this Xbox-centric stuff for about 4 years. I can't wait to see more. You have a lot of fans over here on the Xbox team for all the stuff that you do. I know you cover Xbox and Nintendo and Google and everybody else, but we appreciate you taking the time out of your busy day and your busy schedule to tune in and watch the Xbox Game Showcase, and just more importantly, the fact you're able to give me a little bit of your time. So thank you very much for your time. This is Colteastwood. Thank you so much for checking in and hearing this interview with Larry Hryb. Xbox reached out to me a few days ago and asked me if I wanted to interview Larry Hryb for the Xbox Game Showcase. This was a first for me, but a really great honor and a really interesting opportunity after going through such a big event. An event I've waited for a long time. I know Xbox has shown us a lot with XO19 after E3 last year, and the reveals of the Xbox console and the games at the Game Awards last year. I expect a lot more, and I'm expecting to see a lot more from Xbox. I will actually be doing a full review of the showcase later this weekend for the beginning of next week, so stay tuned to the channel to check that out. If you enjoyed this one, please let me know by liking and subscribing to the channel. You can join the channel as a member or the Patreon, and you'll be entered into monthly giveaways, and you'll get early access to my videos before they go live. I hope everyone at home is doing well and staying sane, having fun, and truly enjoying the hobby of gaming. People are going to be very critical about this event, as they are always critical about any event, and I have my own concerns and things that I am truly excited about, and I can't wait to share all that with you very soon. Thank you so much for watching. Please take care, have fun, and as always, because people are going to be incredibly crazy with all this news and all the complaints, so you have to please be nice.